Well, just tell me a little bit about yourself, your affiliation, and your research focus.
Okay, my name's Annecka Leolyn Marshall. I've been at IGDS since 2004. Prior to that, I was living in England and lecturing there. I came over and it's been I don't know, a roller coaster, basically, of highs and lows. Obviously, this is a 20th anniversary thing, so I'm not going to go into the lows in depth. But it's been interesting, challenging. I've definitely grown in terms of knowing how to deal with the pressures of academia, counselling students, dealing with heavy workloads because we're understaffed and we have lots of students.
This is at the Mona campus?
That's, yes, the Mona campus in Jamaica. So we have a major in gender studies. And at the moment, the head, Dr. Leaf Dunn, is on a Solesis fellowship just for this semester. So I'm the acting head. And so I'm doing that plus teaching 2 courses, which has about over 100 students in each course. So so it's the essay marking and the admin stuff and the meetings and all that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of like the bit. But the joy bit is I love teaching. I have a lot of fun with my students. I mean, basically, how I am outside the classroom is how I am inside. So it's like there's none of this hierarchy thing. Whereas when I came over, that sort of struck me that here it's very much in terms of titles and sort of like sort of designation and everything. Whereas the students were able to relate at a level where it's informal. And we're able to question. So I expect them to ask me things, and if I don't know the answer, I'll say I don't know, or if they disagree with me, or they question my work, that's fine, because it helps me to kind of rethink and to learn as well.
Right.
My particular area is sexuality. However, obviously, I do other courses as well. In terms of England, my PhD was on black female sexuality, how it's historically and socially constructed, and I've extended that to looking at the Caribbean, and I'm also interested in African female and male sexuality as well. Right. But my other passion is in terms of the whole notion of sisterhood. So for my master's dissertation, I looked at black women's organisations. And so over the summer, I went back to England and I interviewed 50 women about sisterhood, because my reason for doing it was that my experience of sisterhood in England is completely different to how it is here. And so I really wanted to go back to my roots to kind of like explore again how the unity of black women having to fight against racism as well as class exploitation kind of brings us together in a different way than Caribbean women are.
Right. Well, I'm really interested in the whole idea of Caribbean sisterhood as you see it. What would you, or how would you describe that experience? Caribbean sisterhood. Now that is a response for the book.
That's my response.
Okay. So how would you like to influence this very hilarious sisterhood?
How would I like to influence it? Maintain my sanity, ensure that my students learn from me and that they are feminists and that they actually ensure that the old saying, lift as we climb, that they're not just sort of improving themselves, but in the process they're also empowering other people.
Okay.
And to make sure that it's not just an academic exercise, but that the whole thing about the personal is political, that they actually do more than paying lip service and just sort of doing things which will benefit them in terms of financially and otherwise, but they actually contribute to their communities, to their families, as well as to be personally empowered.
Excellent. And our final question, you are indeed interested in sexuality and sisterhood. Have you looked, or do you intend to look at the connection between those two concepts as part of your research efforts?
Well, in terms of the reason why I went to England was for a book project. Palgrave Macmillan, the book is entitled Black Sisterhood, Love and Triumph. And so obviously there's the connection between self-love, self-respect, as well as the mutual love whereby we, in our supporting each other, we uplift. And in terms of black feminism and womanism, it means like it's not just about women, it's also about the community as a whole. So it's about men, children, and so that's what I'm
excellent. Thank you so much, Annecka.
Annecka.
Annecka. You still have me laughing, but it's a pleasure.